So, welcome to Themeathon, and this is Majora, and he is going to present Daxter. And introduce yourself and start whenever you want.
Right, I am Majora. I am joined with my co-commentator, Albi. They would like to
Hello.
introduce themselves.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And we're going to be doing some Daxter all missions for real this time.
Yeah. Not doing just like a third of them.
Yeah. Oh, I did not say to start the timer. That's on my fault. I'm sorry. Alright. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, and we're just gonna be going back to jumping and turning the camera.
Yep. And in case you weren't here at the start of the previous attempt, the box clip here, when you ledge grab a object that's perpendicular to a wall, if you get close enough to the wall, you get pushed out of bounds instead of getting pushed back inwards. And he's going to use that to get out of bounds here and do some movement to enter the third level of the game, Breezy Valley, earlier than you should do, rather than going for the first level right away. You can do this level even if you haven't gotten the bug spray yet, which is neat.
Yeah, I'm lightly tapping the R button to spray instead of pressing or holding it because it uses less spray, so I don't have to get as many refills on it.
Yeah, we do get a refill on the way rather than having to go out of our way for it with this current route, so it's not as important as it used to be, but it's still pretty nice. The flower route is pretty simple. It's the Hive Queen that's the bigger problem here, but overall, it's just a pretty neat starting level. So once he's taken care of all these little critters, he's gonna be trying to get ahead of the Hive Queen a little bit and get her to turn around, because the path going the other way has some good places to intersect and catch the Hive Queen. So you don't have to chase her forever.
There we go.
There we go. He got the turnaround this time. He got the hit there. So gonna be a lot better than last time. And there we go, all 3 hits. That's our first little boss.
And the save loading is just faster than actually traveling back.
By a little bit.
Don't know what it is about this precursor stuff, but it sure makes an Otzel want to catch a few Z's.
Oh yeah, the orbs. The very important orbs for completing the missions. And what is this?
A reference
This
to
is
a hit
definite-
90s movie?
Wild. I thought it was a reference to an anime, but apparently not. There is a little bit of variance in this level, actually, even though it's hard to see. But there's not much to the level, really, other than it being some cool Matrix action.
Yeah, we can technically skip these little intermission cutscenes between the waves, but we still have to wait like the full length of the cutscene, right?
Yeah, you have to wait quite a bit, so it's not even worth it. Just end up taking damage for no real reason. If anything, it means you can't end the level as quickly, since you can end the level quite a bit early by taking some damage at the end. By just spamming the buttons enough.
Yeah, it makes a very horrible noise.
There it is, level 4 complete. And so the state we're in currently, Majora has access to the first level, the hotel, and the 5th level, the brewery, which is pretty neat. So you can go and grab the cutscene at the start of the brewery earlier than normally. We're not going to be doing the brewery for a while, but just being able to open the level and go in there so you can watch the cutscene is pretty useful, since the way you get your upgrades in this game is you watch some key cutscenes. So that one is the one that gives you the hover attachment, and then there's one in the second level which gives you the bug spray, and then 2 more later that he's going to do. For now, he can't do anything with the hover attachment since he doesn't have anything to put it on. So it's not going to matter quite yet.
Unfortunately.
It would be really nice if it just let you hover anyways.
Whoa! Get a load of this place!
It's really interesting that they made it a different part of the spray instead of just like a progressive spray upgrade. So it would just give you the spray if you didn't have it.
Yeah. The thing is, you can actually get progressive upgrades somewhat. So you can get the flamethrower where you're supposed to get the blaster if you do the cutscenes the other way around. But the hover attachment itself, it's just the hover attachment. It doesn't give you the bug spray. It's weird how it works both ways. There, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this level, the hotel, it's our first of many levels where Majora is going to have to collect the metalhead gems. That's the mission in this level, to collect 25 metalhead gems. So he's going to be getting a few on his way to the end of the level. There are a couple of different missions. There's a single one that is just get to the end of the level. I wonder if they just kind of gave up as they were getting ready to ship out the game or something and just didn't give mission there. I don't actually know, but there is one level in the game where the mission is just finish the level. But other than that one level, there's at least some kind of mission in each level complete. And he got the jump across the gap again. Sick. First try both times. Just jumping off of the rock there to get a little bit of momentum. Be able to make it across a gap that you normally would not be able to jump across. It is harder than it looks. Or at least harder than Majora makes it look.
Yeah. Spent a while practicing it, so.
And then here he's going to be doing some vent clips. Basically, Daxter is actually small enough to fit into the vents, but not normally. You can't just walk straight into them. So the way that we get into them without crawling is by landing right before the vent, because when Daxter lands, he crouches a bit. So that little crouch gets his hitbox low enough that he can enter the vents when he's not supposed to. Which is pretty neat. Though in this level, for some reason you hit the ceiling when you're in the vent quite a bit, so you move slower than you would like to when you're walking, but overall it's definitely faster still.
I didn't say it the first time through, but you're able to kill these guys in one hit like I'm doing before they come out for some reason.
Yeah, just as long as they're under the bed.
And so we do
So,
that instead to get the gems faster.
mm-hmm.
Looks like the express exit for the Daxtonator.
It is a bit annoying though that if you just stand by the bed, they don't come out. So you have to like manage it where you walk away from the bed a bit to allow them to spawn, and then go in for the hit, and then go back away
Yeah.
a little bit. But it's pretty fast, so it's worth it. And since he's completed the mission here, or at least gotten all the gems, gonna get this cutscene here to be able to leave. Keep going. We're gonna be entering level 2, even if it's our 4th level that we're doing chronologically. And this is where Majora getting the hover attachment early is going to matter, since once he's gotten the bug spray, he can immediately hover and get a bit of time saves here and there from being able to hover when you're not supposed to be able to do it yet.
Mostly just sections at the end of the level that we can skip, but still way faster than doing the platforming.
Mm-hmm. But on the way to the bug spray here, there is some neat platforming without being able to hover as well. Just small shortcuts.
Yeah, like that right there.
Getting up on the edge to not have to go around, and then jumping around the corner so he doesn't have to do all the climbing around in circles that's happening here. And there we go, that's the bug spray cutscene. So now he's got bug spray and the ability to hover.
Grab the crane. I'll take you up.
Not gonna hover right away, but he has the option now. So when he's in the air and spraying, it makes him hover like that.
Two more. You're in position, fuzzball. Drop down and clear the platform. I'll pick you up when the bugs are gone.
No. Bad.
Oh, that's an interesting proxy.
Vaguely impressive. One more to go.
Yeah, bug proxies are very interesting.
Got our first little bit of drops here, but it's mostly fine.
Make your way back. Meet me at the
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
okay, we're back fine.
Yep. Just teeny drops.
Nothing too major. Yeah, it's all Disney's fault. Imagine preferring Disney Plus over speedruns. Could never
Right.
relate.
Right?
there with that last little neat bit of platforming. We're coming to an end of the construction site level. And because we've done the first Breezy Valley already, even though the entry to Breezy Valley still pops up here, that little... Because the way you're supposed to enter Breezy Valley the first time is you get the option to, as you're walking into the bugs shop, to just enter into Breezy Valley right away. So that's a neat, quick way that the Majora can just enter the second Breezy Valley level, even though that's supposed to be like level 9 or something, pretty far into the progression.
Yeah.
Luckily, since we have level 5 available, level progression isn't really a problem with those levels. So we can delay them for a bit and do them later. Which is neat since it allows us to get to the tanker earlier, where we're going to get the flamethrower, which is the main attachment that's going to speed things up with all the movement and killing bugs quicker. But before then, while Majora's spraying some bugs here, then the second phase of this level is going to be to kill 3 Hive Queens this time, rather than just 1. Luckily, they all die in 1 hit. So if you position yourself in a good spot, you can get all 3 of them at the same time, which would be pretty neat. See, Majora get. See,
Yep, got
gets
it.
the first one. Sick. And because he got it, now in the cutscenes, the kind of just keeps going down as all of the Hive Queens just run into him. And he gets all of them without having to move around. So you don't have to chase after each one of them, which can get really tiring. It can be really hard to get even one of them if you're just stuck driving to try and catch up. So that triple hit there is so neat.
Yeah, the second best option is a double hit.
Which is still really fast, but it means you do have to chase one still. And here, he doesn't actually need to be right by the car. He's below here, but it still works since he's close enough.
Yeah, it's probably an XZ distance check and doesn't care about Y or something like that.
Yeah. There's also no jack in the car, even though we're supposed to be
Yeah.
trying to get the jack.
He's just using Dark Jack invisibility.
True. You can tell from some of the mechanics of this game that they're definitely cutting down as much as they can to make it run better on PSP.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those ways is that the collision basically doesn't exist unless you look at it. There's some collision when you don't look at it, but it has to be very close to you. So it's got almost a baby's sense of object permanence for this game. Which is a bigger deal in other categories where we can do barrier skips because of it, but in this category, it's not as important. Just something to keep in mind in a few places that I can mention when they pop up.
Wait in the cycle.
Mhm. Hope the people coming from Bingathon are enjoying this, by the way. This is Daxter, a less known name in the Jack and Daxter series, but a really fun PSP platformer.
It was
So-
actually one of the 10 best-selling PSP games.
Yep. It was only available for PSP though, so that definitely hurts its popularity a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like a lot of levels in Daxter, he's trying to get enough metalhead gems here to complete the mission. So that would be 30?
Yep.
Or
30.
yeah, 30 in this level. Different totals in different levels. But this is one of the few levels where you get metalhead gems where you actually get to do a major skip, which is pretty cool. So he's gonna set it up here to use this platform that goes down in order to swing upwards here and hover out of bounds.
I got it first try this time.
Sick. Looking great.
And that saves about a minute of platforming and stuff, I believe.
I don't actually know, but
I think it's that. I haven't professionally timed it, doing it as fast as possible both ways. But I wouldn't be surprised.
it's a pretty cool skip. That's the most important part.
Yeah. It shows just how much they pushed the PSP to its limits too, with all of this being loaded in at once.
Yep. It's also pretty neat for this skip and a lot of other skips that in Jack and Daxter games, walls are one way, so they keep you in, but if you're outside, you can easily just plop back in. Ooh, a little death there, but
Yeah.
it's got a checkpoint nearby, so it's fine. But yeah, because of the way the walls work, it's easy to get back in bounds if you need to, which a lot of times you do.
The health.
Ooh, a lot of health.
Yeah. There we go. Coming up on the end of the level here, just a mini game left to do.
Yeah, it's a pretty long minigame though. Usually there's just one mission, but you need to do both the metalhead gems and the mission at the end in the little minigame in this level, which is a bit unfortunate. There are some bigger skips in this level and a lot of these levels, but we do less of them here to make sure we get all the missions. Which sometimes we don't have to go too far out of our way
Oh,
for the
crap.
mission, but
Oh, well.
sometimes.
I didn't move the thing. I didn't move Tick over.
It's fine. It was pretty early mission fail, so you didn't lose too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the annoying things that you only have one attempt. If you fail even a single one here, you're gonna have to start over the mission. But in return, it's a pretty easy mission.
Yeah. I consider the hardest minigame the brewery one.
Mm-hmm. For sure. The prison one tries to be similarly hard, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's still kind of hard, but the brewery one for sure is the worst.
Yeah, the prison one is just own in game.
Yeah, once he's gone through this mini game, there's going to be a cutscene outside of the tanker, which is where he's going to get the flamethrower. So at that point, he's going to have almost all the upgrades. There's one left, but it's not as important as the other ones. It's only going to speed things up a bit. The flamethrower and the ability to hover are the two big ones that changed the speedrun the most. So that's why why it's really good that we are able to do the levels that get the hover attachment and the flamethrower a bit earlier than you would be able to otherwise. By doing the levels a little out of order. But here we go, mission complete. And he gets this cutscene, get the flamethrower, and we're gonna get started on the I think
Distillery.
all three actually. Yeah, the distillery first, doing the levels, starting off here in City Port. And he's going to enter the distillery in a bit of an interesting way, where he's going to save and load immediately as he enters the elevator shaft to be in this weird in-between state between the distillery and the city port. This can be loading in the distillery, but getting proxied up. So you can hover out of bounds to skip the elevator ride like that and just get started right away. Save a slight bit of time. It isn't a long elevator ride, but the elevator is kind of slow, so it still saves time.
Yeah, and you have to wait for both doors to open after the ride too, instead of one door
Yep.
already being open.
And this is one of the ways that the flamethrower helps, which is being able to kill these bugs right away, rather than having to smack them like 5 times. So there's going to be a lot of use of the flamethrower here. It also lets you hover higher than the bug spray does. It's going to be useful for a skip here. That's not too tight, but still kind of tight, where Majora is gonna jump as close to the edge here as he can to be able, or he just jumps off the edge even to get a little bit of boost, and holds his camera a bit to the side, because if you look at Daxter from the side instead of from straight behind Daxter as you would normally do, Daxter moves a little bit faster, which helps just in general for movement, but especially for tighter skips like that, to be able to cross the distances. It's really nice to get that little bit extra speed.
Now we're gonna do a little platforming section here. Kinda like the Dark Eco room in LPC.
Trying to get out of the room before it fills up with all the poison or whatever it is.
I assume it's wine or something like that.
That would make sense. But it also like kills you. So
Oh, yeah, die from alcohol poisoning, I guess.
that is an interesting way to go out. Though I suppose when you're dropped into that much wine, that would make sense. And here the slope speeds up Majora a bit, so he doesn't jump around single jumping as he normally would, instead just walking. Sinkhole jumping is a little bit faster than walking normally, but with that slope pushing you along as well, makes that bit of a difference. That is true. Daxter does die by falling into water, so wine does make sense.
Yeah. He can't swim after all, yeah, so he just drowned, huh?
Mm-hmm. $16 months, that's sick.
Nice, let's go. Getting close to that 2 years.
Now we're getting close to where we left off before, except now there's a bit more color when we get to watch the stream, so we get to
Yeah.
actually see what's going on.
Much higher quality stream. Gosh, we need that professional stream emote from Jack Speedruns.
Yeah, the stream definitely had that feeling to it. This level, though, there's not really any skips. The biggest thing we do that you don't do in a normal playthrough of this level is that we just kind of don't exit the level where you normally do. We do the mission and then we just turn back around and leave. There's not really a reason to actually go to the end of the level in the way you're meant to. You can just turn back around and exit the way you came. And the mission's done, it's all fine. It ends up just being that little bit faster to just walk straight back out. So that's the biggest difference in this level, but other than that, it's just doing everything for the most part here.
Yeah, I wish there was a way that we could flip out of bounds and do some stuff to get later on in the level. But
That would be cool, but for now, this is the most basic level.
yeah,
There's like one time you skip a single platform. It's like, oh my god, we skipped something.
5
There's
seconds.
actually a skip. Or here where you hover over the ice block as if that's insane movement. Rather than just burning it completely down. It's still little things that matter in the end. He's gonna try and stay clear of the lurker sharks that are a bit annoying with their detection, but still predictable.
I try to keep them off camera most times, because sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes they don't attack me if they're off camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, destroying the nests make it so it just gives you all the metalhead gems rather than you having to kill each individual metalhead that spawns from the nest, which is pretty sweet. So that's why we always go for the nests first if we can.
That's also why this jump is so important too, is because it lets you kill this nest before any more than 2 shoot out.
And here, it's fine to get everything right away, but you don't even need to get all the metalheads gems right away, since this is the point where he's gonna turn around and start backtracking the level instead. So he's going to do that same jump again from the other side. And just going to leave rather than continuing the level as one would normally do. The mission only says get 40 gems. It doesn't say exit the level where we want you to.
Yeah, there's no ending trigger. It's just get 40 gems.
Mission complete. I don't see the problem.
We get paid for collecting the gems.
Exactly. We're following the job description very well. The cycles for the frozen meat going across, or whatever it is, in this room coming up are a little bit more annoying on the way back than they are on the way in, but it's still fine.
They're not too bad.
A little bit of dropping here, but
Little bit. Oh yeah, yeah. It is a little. It looks like it's coming back though.
It's back.
Yep. It's like just a second. So that's fine.
Oh wait, no, it's I'm behind now. So let's see if I can get
Yeah.
caught up.
Yeah. Refresh. Alright, I'm exiting Cannery right now.
All right, there we go.
And we're gonna go to Emerald Isle 1.
Yes, and this is one of the big levels that we have to make sure we don't get too far ahead with the level progression, which is why we don't do too much extra in Haven City, to make sure that we can do both Emerald Isle 1 and 2. That doesn't overwrite the first one, because we need to get all the missions, not all but a few.
I'm gonna be attempting something I jokingly call task hits here. You can hit the boss here in the right way that you can end the fight much earlier than intended.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard. No, I don't think so. I might get it I'll get it a little earlier than normal, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But not nearly as early as I wanted to show off.
Were you talking about right as you enter the cave, or have you been able to do it a little earlier?
Earlier.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. This will be right as you enter the cave, but I've been able to get it right up here.
Ooh, that's a good place to get it.
Yeah.
Very close to the exit of the level.
But it's very precise, very hard hits. I've only got it twice.
He's gonna have to travel the cave a little bit here, but not all the way, which is nice. So you can just turn around in the middle of that cutscene and go straight back out. And that's our first Emerald Isle boss fight. He's gonna come back to Emerald Isle later once he's done some missions in the Haven City. Yep. Unfortunately, because of the way that we've been doing the levels, we're not unlocking the connection between Cityport and Haven City the normal way. So the door going to Haven City doesn't open. Luckily, it's a wall that you can just plop out of from this side, so we can still just walk straight through it. But then afterwards, he's gonna do a little skip past the door rather than being able to walk through it.
Yep. Now we're gonna actually go and do brewery. The bar.
Yeah, Majora, he's just that cool.
And it's going to
And
be really, really quick here. We're not actually going to do the level.
this is why we delayed Brewery, because you can do it very quick here with the equipment we've got now. Just
Alrighty, and there we
hover
go.
out of bounds. And boom, he gets right to the end where the minigame is. No reason to do all the other stuff. There's only one thing that does the mission, and it's the minigame at the end. Who cares about all the bugs in between? It's not like we're bug exterminators. We're speedrunners.
Alright, there we go.
Sick. And now that the wine has been drained, he can exit the level, and the mission is complete.
And next we're gonna go to a level that we just kind of walk through.
Yep.
Just
This is an early level where you're not intended to have flamethrower, and we don't get too much use out of it, unfortunately. Not one of those levels where we just do so much faster by having the flamethrower. If anything, there's not much the flamethrower actually helps here. Not even the boss fight, because
yeah.
the bug spray is actually better for the boss fight.
I've explored stuff, potential options here in transit, with going around the barriers that instantly kill you if you run into them on the train. And
Mhm.
it just takes you out of bounds, and then stuff deloads and you fall and die.
Damn.
I thought, well, maybe I could fall into some other part of the level, but
Unfortunately not.
I have faith things can get more optimized.
There is one little bit of a skip on the way to the boss fight, though.
Yep.
It's gonna be a bit where Majora gets there, though.
Yeah. Got this whole train section right here first.
Yep. So for now, it's just a bunch of single jumping and looking at Daxter from the side and waiting on the trains. The trains do get faster, which helps. So the distances get traveled a little bit faster, at least. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty normal gameplay for a bit.
Yeah. Mostly just an auto-scroller level, basically.
Even if we could get out of bounds here and move on our own, the trains move pretty fast, so I don't even think that would help.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way the level progression works right now is access to this level, or maybe I should talk about skip here.
Yeah.
It's gonna jump out of bounds here, getting over the pipe, so he can jump up and hover into the vent above, so he doesn't have to go around there. Just cut straight up and keep moving.
And then we're back to another train section.
Whoa! Trains! Who here loves trains?
I love hype trains.
Ooh.
Saved it there.
Would be fun if we could get one, even if it's small.
So, for the longest time, I walked to the sides of these instead of just crawling, because I didn't realize I could just crawl under them. So I abused the fact that there was no collision on the sides.
Yeah. You didn't realize there was a normal way to do it, so you just exploited bad collision.
Yep. It's been so long since I've played the game casually that it's like, well, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
sometimes you could forget casual methods. But yeah, the way the level progression works now, this is like level 6 or something, and then he has access to the level after the Emerald Isle 1 as well, which is the construction site.
Yep.
So he's doing this just to have no barrier for the power station.
Yeah, we
So
just
then
gotta do,
once we get all the power station levels, we can just drive straight up there, no reason to do any skips to get in there, just drive straight in and do all the power station levels at the same time.
Yep.
Really sweet.
Be coming up on the end of this chase section right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Alright, now we're on to the first actual boss. At least I consider it the first actual boss.
Yep. Both in speedrun and in the game in general. We've been having our go at our little mini bosses of Hive Queens that we've had to do a few hits on, but this one has pretty tanky
Oh,
health pool, at least by Daxter standards. Wait, what?
What happened?
Congratulations, what?
I don't know. Okay, that was weird. It kicked...
Congratulations, you have completed this preview of Daxter on a PS...
What?
something. Look for the full version of Daxter coming spring 2006. Press any button to return to the main menu.
What?
How?
What? This is the
How did
version
you
that
trigger that?
I don't know! What?
You didn't even complete something. It was in the middle of the boss battle.
What? This is the version I've been playing on the entire time. What?
Marathons, everyone. Marathon magic. Apparently, his full copy turned into demo copy somehow.
They wanted to stop me from beating the game too fast.
Yeah. Is this the first step to discovering the credits warp?
Yep.
Would be cool if we find that eventually.
Now, if only that prison warp worked. I really want it to.
Oh yeah, that one, the infamous prison warp that someone said on like an old social media
Yeah, on
site
an
that we
old
can't figure out what they
IGN
mean.
forum post.
Yeah.
I spent
just
so
can't
long
figure out
looking at it,
Mhm.
yeah.
It could be that they're lying, but who
Yeah,
knows?
it could be. It could be that they had a different version of the game.
But if someone can find it, that would be so good for the innocent speedrun.
Right. Big bad bug done.
Sick. Another thing that would be good for the 90% speedrun if we can somehow since it's technically possible to skip the final boss completely, if you just can get far enough distance-wise. You can with infinite hover, but obviously you can't
Yeah.
cheat and infinitely hover in the middle of a run. So that isn't an option in regular runs. But it shows that it is technically possible if we can figure it out. Just need more horizontal distance.
Just like the, kind of like the
Quite a
infamous
bit.
Tinker 2 skip.
Mm-hmm.
Going straight to Palace. Just haven't figured out how to get the height or... But it's there. We can hit that cutscene.
Yep. And here we are entering the construction site. And there's a pretty cool skip that we're going to be using a bit in the construction site here, where if you crouch as you, or you crawl as you drop off an edge, you don't get flung up by the trampolines. You instead um, just crawl on the trampolines and gather a lot of momentum, so that when you jump, you get like so much vertical momentum. It's kind of crazy. And that is going to be useful soon. For a
Yes.
pretty major skip here. Just gonna crawl off here, try to hover really far.
Oh. Well, this is
Oh.
interesting. I've never gotten it like that before. Okay.
You did get there. Oh, you died though.
Yeah.
Ah, that sucks.
I got stuck in the elevator. I've never had it
Do
like
something
that
about
before.
that.
Okay, now I'm just being bad.
But you kept the concept at least, and hopefully Majora can get the full thing here. Would be really cool to see.
Oh, no, with one wall. Got stuck on that wall thing.
Oh well.
But the idea was that I would have hovered one wall further and landed and fallen down the elevator shaft instead of taking this elevator right here.
Yep, so he wouldn't have to go around and he wouldn't have to wait for the elevator.
But it's okay, we'll take the elevator.
You got to see enough to understand the concept of it, at least.
So this is... I consider this the hardest vent clip in the game. And I have that kind of setup of platforming that I do to get it.
I would not consider that the hardest one in the game. I would say the one in prison.
No, really?
Or it's more like continuing the vent clip that's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
That one's really hard.
Yeah, I more so have trouble just getting that one at all without doing that specific setup.
The continuation to the vent clip is technically just a second vent clip. It's just it's one of the few vents that has an extra part that you need to get below. And you can't just walk through the entire vent.
Yeah, I don't know. Recently I've been able to get that clip, somewhat consistently.
He's gonna do another one of these trampoline proxies, though. I think it's right here.
Yep.
You get over a wall.
And straight to the end of the level.
There we go. Sick. Just a slight bit of movement optimization since he's finished the missions. Just needs to exit the level.
And from here, we're gonna do every power station mission now.
Yep, because as you leave the second construction site here, you unlock the other power station levels. So we now have access to all of them. So since we have access to all of them, and because we did the Hive Queen earlier, we don't have the barrier blocking the way. This is a greatest time as any to do all the power station levels. We don't have any other levels left in Haven City either, so it's just these, and then going back to the city ports.
Now, I recently did a reroute for this mission. Pretty nice. Saves a good chunk of time. It actually uses the fact that, you know, these games only have one-sided walls. So over here, after I collect this eco crystal, I'm gonna hover up here to turn on this lever. But then that off to the right there, that platforming section has a one-sided wall that I can just hover through, as you can see. And so I can just skip going around that entire part where I don't get any eco crystals at all, and go straight right there.
Yep. And while there's not too many skips with having to get all the crystals, you can at least hover back here to use some more optimized routes, not just go all the way back to the start and climb back up again, but instead, since there's some stuff to do up here still, go over there. Ooh, barely making the cycle.
And I'm gonna grab the last eco crystal right here at the beginning of the level.
Yep,
And just
and then
jump
just
down to the miner.
Down. Any good route ends at the beginning, so you can just hop out of the level. And now he's going to enter the second strip mine, which the starting cutscene here gives him the blaster, the final upgrade to our weapon. So he's going to be able to shoot some electric blasts or whatever it is to destroy walls and kill things in a radius.
And you'll notice too, it just popped up telling me that I can now do Breezy Valley 2. This is normally when you're supposed to be able to do it, but because we did stuff out of order, well, we don't.
We did Breezy Valley very early.
Yeah, we don't have to do it, and we can't do it. So our
The
map...
normal level progression would be like the brewery and then the Hive Queen stuff, and then do the first strip mine, and then go over to do the second Breezy Valley, which is just jumping around quite a bit between different places in the Haven City. Which is fine for normal playthrough, but we're trying to limit the amount we need to go between different places and try to get all the upgrades we can as early as possible.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect to respawn there. Alright.
It was a pretty useful place to respawn, though.
Yeah. Luckily, we have good checkpoints, not Jack 2 checkpoints.
Exactly.
There we go. We have a boss coming up at the end of this level as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun to watch. I still dream of being able to 2-cycle it,
Yep.
but that requires 9 hits per...
Have you ever managed to get 9 hits in one go?
I think I've managed to get 8.
Okay. So
And-
it's close then.
Yeah.
You gotta just keep blasting.
And that's on the... where it flies off the wall. Because I'm able to get a jump hit while it's flying, 6 hits of the blaster, and then another jump hit right at the end if I'm fast enough. But it could just be that's the limit.
Could be. Sometimes you're able to find that little bit extra to notice there's an even faster cycle than you previously understood.
Yep. For the sake of no TMS, I'm hoping that there's still a way to skip the fight.
Yeah. I mean, no TMS is still pretty cool there with how you enter the fight.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna show that off here. Though it's not. I don't think it's faster in all missions.
It's not.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I'm
But it
actually
is a
gonna
fun way
show that
to
off.
do it.
So this
No
is what you
TMS
would
actually
do
just...
in no
Mhm.
TMS. You just go out of bounds and hover with the flamethrower to skip around the rocks.
Mm-hmm. This part of the skip might actually be faster than doing it normally. But the earlier part of the skip where you get into the elevators section
Yeah.
is definitely not faster.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And then same as the first big bug boss, gonna shoot out some small bugs for us to kill before it shows itself.
Yeah, it gives us a trial to see if we're even worth taking on the boss fight. Where Majora gets to show off what a great bug exterminator he is. I am worthy of your battle. Let's go.
Alright, that's 6. As long as I'm getting 6, I will get the 3 phase.
Mm-hmm. That part, for the first hit, you can just kind of bug spray as well.
Oh. Ooh, soon.
Oh, rough.
But still got 6. Really, the 7 doesn't matter there, I feel, because...
Gets the fight done a little faster, I guess.
Yeah. There we go. Fight done.
Alright.
No match for me.
And then there's one more level in the power station.
And it's another level where we just kinda leave through the entrance because Why not?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't
The
say we
slide
have
to the
to.
end is pretty long. It's just a winding slide that
Yeah.
goes like back and forth rather than going straight to the end. At that point, may as well just walk to the end instead. This is also a place where he needs to keep in mind that object permanence barely exists in this game,
Yeah.
which is why he goes into camera mode there to make sure that he actually looks at the enemy as they die, so they actually die, which can be a problem sometimes.
I also do it so those enemies don't aggro and attack me while I'm on the button.
Yep, so there's a few enemies that would normally attack him here, but because he's going into first person mode here, he's not looking at them. Object permanence is weird in this game. They're not caring about him because they barely exist. We're a baby. We don't see things. They're not there.
They go based on sight. You don't look at them, you don't exist.
More or less.
Same thing here. Oh, nice. Got a quick kill on that.
Nice, nice.
Then we death abuse and skip over here.
Yep.
And prepare ourselves for a little log ride. Yeah, not making that cycle. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that was pretty far out. But yeah, like a lot of places at the end of the log ride, if you stand on the button, normally the scorpion comes to get you, but there's a way to look away from it and have it not aggro, while also being able to look at the flying bug that you need to kill, which is important. It's right there waiting until it says 4 out of 7 and then going. You can cheat a little bit and walk into the saw blades as it's ticking up, but it's a little scary if you do it too early.
Yeah, bit risky.
You can end up, it's safe to just wait until it dies and then go.
So I'm gonna grab a checkpoint right here.
Yep. So you can do death abuse and respawn here later, because there's one set of flying bugs he needs to kill here that's a little bit out of the way. So it is neat to just be able to... you're gonna take some damage, most likely, in this
Yeah.
section. Then once he's done and he can kill everything, then he can just die and quickly get back.
Come on. There you go.
There we go, 6 out of 7, and now it's just time to die. And boom, he's back there. It doesn't take too long to get that spawn, but it makes the respawn so much better. To look at the enemy.
And now
You
the
can also
missions.
blast them if he's like in the middle, I think.
Yeah, so now the mission's done and we're just gonna leave back the way we came in.
Yep. Normally you'd like go to the left and do a really long slide, but we're pretty good at movement. So we're just gonna ignore that, and Majora's instead gonna just hover across a gap that normally the game expects you not to be able to do, but he's good enough at the platforming of this game that he can do it. But he's gonna grab a checkpoint for safety first. Says the checkpoint's pretty bad if you drop into water here. You lose like 35 seconds or something.
Now we're
There we
going
go.
back to port.
All of the Haven City levels done.
So, we gotta do a proxy here with the scooter to get back into port, since the door isn't gonna open for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's relatively easy.
Just get a little lucky. There we go. Hover function helps out quite a bit there.
Yep. I used to do it with the flamethrower, but then I just decided, well...
Is it possible to get too high there?
No, I just figured it was a waste of spray if I could do it with the green. You know?
Sure, but if you get low enough, it's also nice if you can
Yeah, that's true.
save it with a flamethrower.
That's very true.
You get a lot of spray in Tanker too, so I don't really think there's any reason to conserve spray there.
Yeah.
But here we go, the other Emerald Isle level. Gonna try and not shoot too much so that the gun overheats.
Stay on target, dude! Stay on target!
Almost there.
Almost. Not quite. You're able to get an early kill here. Can you get it before he leaves here, though? I think you can, maybe? There we go.
And then we drive off the ledge, because it's faster
Yeah,
here.
overheat bar green. Very normal color for
Yeah.
a bar that shows that you're overheating.
The green eco is getting too hot.
There is a lot of green in this game, to be fair, so it doesn't really color code. So it's not too out of place that the overheat bar is green, but it
Yeah.
still doesn't help much either.
Now we're gonna go do Tanker 2.
And Tanker 2 is the first level of the end game here, so each time he gets to the end of the level, that's how he starts the next level. So there's going to be no more of walking back to the start the normal way. It's going to be all getting to the end of the level. It's just about getting the missions done on the way there.
Yep.
A little bit of frame drops for now, but hopefully we'll get by.
It's looking like it's back.
Yep, I just need to refresh my own stream. There we go. And for Tanker 2, the mission is pretty straightforward. It's just to complete the level while the escape sequence is running. So he just needs to do a slight detour to start the escape sequence rather than being able to jump straight to the end. Are you going to do the sick?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt Tanker 2 skip. Yep, I'm gonna attempt it. Oh, yes.
All right. Let's see if you can get it. So he's going to start off Tanker 2 skip here. Going out of bounds on top of this pipe.
I got the standpoint, but he didn't jump.
Oh.
It's okay, though. We got this.
It's pretty quick to retry.
Oh, didn't even get the standpoint that time. There we go.
Nice.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fall down below this little pool of dark eco, and with
Yep,
some
to be able to
sort of
get,
blind movement, we're gonna hover close to the end of the level.
not all the way to the end, but close to it, so you can start the escape sequence.
Yep. All right. And here we are.
Nice.
There's another strat we can do here after the escape sequence starts, where you can bug proxy and skip
Oh, you're not gonna
this.
do it. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was talking about it, I thought that's what you meant. That was what I was thinking
Oh,
about.
no.
It's really hard and risky though, so I
No,
understand not going
yeah.
for it.
I wish I practiced it and was good enough at it, because yeah, the bug proxy is really cool. It lets you skip this entire zipline section and come
Yeah.
straight to the end here with the timer going.
If you fail it though, you get all the way back to where he got back when he started the out of bounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's such a major time loss if you fail it. Technically, this at the end here that he's gonna do is also equally as big of a time loss, but it's a lot easier. You can do it of the other one as well.
Yep. And hopefully I didn't get the timer bug. Okay. Not get the timer bug.
Sick. So there we go. Now we've entered the infamous level where the mission is just complete the level. So nothing special in this one, unfortunately. It's just regular any percent stuff because there's nothing to this level than just beat it. You are on the blaster right now, by the way.
Good.
Not gonna be good. Daxter, it's time to get your darling self the hell out of here.
I always
Did you do that
blast
intentionally just to
Yes.
blast?
Yes, I always blast that one intentionally. Pretty much.
There.
Just don't want to take the risk of getting hit there. I am noticing I am getting low on health. So I gotta be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first of 2 skips in prison.
In
Or
Palace, yeah.
yes, palace, not
So
prison.
he's gonna get on top of the bookshelf here to be able to hover around the corner. Skips a little bit of movement.
Then,
I think it might be actually more than just a little bit. I think it's pretty big.
yeah. Then I'm also
This other
doing
one
this
isn't
one.
as big though. This one, it barely even saves time, if any, but it looks cool.
Come on. Second try. Give it second try. Alright, third try.
The fastest path, at least, does the skip, but
Third try.
very few people do the first part of the other bounce that's quicker.
Alright, past all the scary parts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, there's one more, but...
There's a little bit of skipping further up as well, but not as cool looking. It doesn't have the same out of bounds feeling to it.
Yeah. This jump...
So rather than just going up all of these platform sections here, he's just gonna hover around the corner. Not really much more than that. Just fume.
That was
It
close.
didn't land up there, but you
Yeah.
can just hold over and just keep going anyways.
Yeah, get the refill.
That's how free it is. Yep. And then skipping another platform section here by just getting high enough that he can land near the end. Which is pretty convenient. And now he's finally gonna enter the prison, which is the longest level. At least in 100%.
Yeah.
Is there any level that's longer than it in all missions?
I think the only one that would give it a run for its money is Tinker 1. I think that's
true.
the only
Especially
one.
with the 2-minute minigame.
Yeah. And that's really the only reason why.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think Tinker 1's only like a 5.5-minute level or something like that.
And also just having to get all the metalhead gems. Since you don't have to actually go that far out of your way in prison to do the mission.
Mm-hmm.
But it is quite a bit out of your way to do it in Tanker 1.
And in prison, we have some cool stuff that we do as well, since we only have to complete the minigame at the end.
Yep. There's some cool movement optimizations.
Oh,
Curiousin. You can just grab the extra.
yeah.
You died, so you're getting the
Yeah.
the eco back. Just
Yeah.
need to not be on the blaster.
I'm gonna go around normally instead of trying to do it the fast way. Looked like a bad cycle.
You definitely couldn't do any fast method there.
Yeah.
But here's gonna do a slight vent clip.
Yeah,
Or are you gonna do it all the way?
No, I couldn't. I tried.
Damn. That little...
Yeah, that little spot there is
section
hard to... It's hard to get through. I was doing it pretty good in practice, but...
You need to get like 4 well-timed jumps in a row or something like crazy like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna attempt another thing right here.
Yeah, where he maintains the elevator momentum as he hovers, and then stores it as he ledge grabs instead of landing on the floor, so he can keep hovering high. And he got up sick. Didn't have the eco to attempt the hover all the way up to the top here, but
Yeah.
there's a little bit of extra elevator flying he could do still. That worked out really well. Didn't get the vent clip, unfortunately.
There we go. How can I pull my camera through?
Actually re-attempted it quite a bit.
Okay. No, can't pull my camera through.
That sucks. You got pretty far in, though.
Yep.
And you're gonna have to crawl down eventually anyways. Since you have to wait out the guard no matter what. And here, pretty neat cycle here. Didn't have to do anything too risky in this room. And then he's gonna do another vent clip that's a lot easier than the previous one. And just walk straight through.
Yep.
Doesn't even need to follow the vent path here, you can just walk straight forward. Well, yeah, you don't have to crouch, but you're gonna have to wait anyways, so like, what's the point? But technically you can avoid the crawl, that's true.
And then we have one more vent clip before we're on to the second half of prison.
Yep, a lot of vents, a lot of clipping.
If I get it. Yep, there we go. Second try.
Sick.
And then we got some really fast back-to-back little skips here.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna do the full out-of-bounds skipping?
I'm gonna try, yeah.
Sick. So he's gonna do like the box clip at the start where he's gonna ledge grab by the wall so he gets pushed out of bounds, and then do a sick hover section out of bounds. And then once he's gotten inbounds, he still needs to do a really tough hover to save a little bit of time getting up here. And there's one hard hover more that you can do there, but
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with just
it's
bringing over
real.
the
It's really risky, and you'll lose a bunch of time if you don't get it because
yeah,
of
you
no
just
checkpoint.
go all the way back to before you started going out of bounds if you fail at any point there. So there's no problem with going a little safer. You already saved so much time by getting all the rest of it so well.
I'm gonna use
And
the
then-
momentum from these platforms to launch me and skip most of the platforming section here.
The first one is the biggest one, but the second one here does still save time still, to instead of going over and getting the other swinger here, you can just hover over to the end with some momentum.
Then we're on to prison minigame and the final boss.
Yep, the final boss is starting, so may as well just mention that. You might be paying attention. Or wait, it's the minigame first.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
And the final boss is interesting.
Yeah, just a bunch of waiting in the first phase. And then after that, you don't technically need to kill him, you just need to get to the cutscene at the end.
Yeah.
So
we don't even really fight him.
yeah. So we don't even really need the blaster to finish off the game. You're gonna get to see the cool skip that we do instead. It's really cool to see.
Right, on to the final boss.
Sick.
So I'm gonna attempt to stay on the inner 4 platforms, as they're the closest to all the geysers or fountains here that he'll fly to.
Yep. You want to wait until he gets down to one of the fountains and then use the flamethrower to burn his ass. Ooh, you only have 1 health. That is scary.
Yes, it is.
When was it he took all that damage in the prison section? I forgot.
It was at the beginning, I think.
Yeah, I think since you didn't really die anywhere,
Oh well, that's better
Well,
that way.
at least it wasn't too far into the boss fight.
Yeah. It's like 30 seconds gone. Yeah, I've looked into trying to figure out a way to predict or even manipulate the boss's movements. That
It
way,
is possible.
yeah. I just haven't figured much out.
I don't know if it was Rain or who it was, but there was someone who got at least the first hits very consistently. But there's not been enough experimentation with it to be able to keep it going. So for now, it's pretty random.
Yeah.
Which one he goes to. It seems to be based on your position, but it's so precise with the position that
Yeah.
it's tough to manipulate. And that's the first phase done, which means we're now at the phase where we can do the skip to the end of the boss fight. So he's gonna get over here to the vent. But he's gonna.
I'm gonna wait for the boss to do an attack 4 times, then
Yep.
hover, and we're gonna proxy off of his back, straight to the end.
He's gonna get on top of it so that when he flies away,
And
he flies up and gets the
time.
end. Time. All right. 1:30 something it seems.
Bring it on, butt rip. I just stopped you, didn't I?
1:30, 50, 58. So that's really cool. That's a good time.
Yeah.
Outside where?
Yeah, that was Daxter All Missions.
And then this cutscene, as you're gonna see later, he goes up the little platform there, which if you've played the Jack games, you would know that in Jack 2 it starts with him coming up
That's right.
that
Heroes
platform,
always find
because
a way.
that's chronologically where Daxter sits in the Jack and Daxter series. It's right as Daxter enters the prison to try and save Jack, which is pretty cool.
I knew that. Now I must be off for my date with destiny. Fare thee well, my fine
Currently, there's not really an option to get into the Jack and Daxter speedrunning Discord, unfortunately. We had some problems with the community, but
Yeah.
for now, if you want to check out the speedrun.com page for Daxter, you can get involved with the game and we can still interact that way. There's a lot of fun categories for the speedrun. Really underappreciated in my opinion. So it would be cool to have more people get involved and bring their skills to the speedrun.
Yeah, I agree. It's not as active as all the other Jack games, so would be really cool to see more competition, more people taking interest in it.
And more people trying to find skips, see if we can push the game even more.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for running.
Yep.
You have anything else you want to say?
Well, thank you, Albie, for commentating for me. I really, really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure to be here.
And thank you guys for allowing me to run. You know, it's something I've always wanted to do, and being able to show this off was really exciting, and I'm really, really grateful.
No problem.
Always nice to see more eyes on Daxter.